Hey guys, it's Zach back again, and well, iOS 14 is out. It has been out for a few hours now, and I have it on my phone right here, and I figured I would give you a little demo of some of the features. And yeah, let's just get started. So I'm gonna unlock my phone.
1:13 a.m.
So we're gonna just unlock it here.
Mail. No unread emails.
All right.
Double tap to open.
So let's start with some of the voiceover changes. Now, I'll say this kind of up front. This update isn't huge in terms of accessibility changes. There aren't really many things. It's more of an incremental thing, but I think that's just because last year there were a lot of voiceover changes. So this year is sort of considering sort of how much of a mess iOS 13 was last year. I think they're just trying to refine it and make sure that everything is set so that we can keep moving forward. But there are still some really interesting changes, and there's one thing that's really groundbreaking that's new for newer devices. So let's go into settings and I'll show you. So I'm just going to ask Siri to open VoiceOver settings. Open VoiceOver settings.
Let's take a look at the VoiceOver settings.
Settings. Accessibility. Back button.
Okay, so I'm in the VoiceOver settings, and the first really big thing that's new is something called VoiceOver recognition. Now, this is only available on devices that are the 10S and higher, so the iPhone 10s, 10R, and anything newer than that. And that's the reason for that is because it's very, very, very processor intensive. It uses a lot of very clever machine learning. And again, this is just the beginning of this feature, so it's only going to get better from here. Now, I'll show you sort of briefly what this is all about. So I'm going to go over to that option here.
Speech. Speaking rate. Red. VoiceOver recognition. Button.
Here we go.
Using on-device intelligence, your iPhone will automatically improve the accessibility of apps, images, and text.
So
VoiceOver recognition should not be relied upon in circumstances where you could be harmed or injured, in high-risk situations, for navigation, or for the diagnosis or treatment of any medical condition.
So, as it just said there, this is sort of what this feature does. It is able to identify images and apps and stuff like that. So I'll just briefly go through.
Image descriptions, on, button.
So let's go in here. This is where it's going to be able to describe photos to you. This is really cool.
Image descriptions, on. 145.5 megabyte use.
So this feature, all of these features, or most of them anyway, require a download of data because you're not going to use internet for this. And the reason for that is so that your data remains private and also that it can work offline. So if you're ever in an airplane or in a scenario where you need some kind of image description but you don't have internet, they've got you covered. You're safe. You're good. So we'll keep going.
Your iPhone will speak descriptions of images in apps and on the web.
Yep, there we go.
Sensitive content output. Heading.
Now this is for images that might be a bit more risque. This shows you it has a setting here for how to alert you to that.
Selected. Speak.
So it can tell you that there's sensitive content.
Play sound.
It'll play a noise. The noise it plays is quite interesting. We can check it out in a second because in the sound settings they have a sample of what that noise sounds like.
Do nothing. And
then do nothing, so it won't tell you. I have it set to speak right now.
Indicate if an image may contain sensitive content. Indicate if an...
So anything like violent, some stuff on social media, especially these days, can be. So it will sort of let you know that might be something. It will still describe it, but it will kind of give you a little warning. So in case you don't want to hear that, you can just skip past it. So let's go back.
VoiceOver recognition. Voice...
And
image description.
We'll go to the next option.
Your iPhone will screen recognition on.
All right,
button.
This is really cool. Let's see what the description for this is.
Your iPhone will automatically make apps more accessible by recognizing items on the screen.
So this is able to essentially do really clever like OCR and machine learning techniques to try and make apps accessible. And this is a work in progress. So think of this. I think of this more of an experimental thing at this stage, but it definitely works. We can check it out. I'll find something that we can use. So if we go in here.
Screen recognition on.
There we go. We go to the right.
Double 14.9 megabyte used.
Again, you have to download some data.
Your iPhone will automatically improve the accessibility of apps that have no accessibility information, such as identifying the state of buttons or toggles, and by grouping related items together. In other apps, screen recognition can be accessed through the rotor.
So there you go. It's really clever. So if we go to the right again, there's one more option here.
Apply to apps, NBC News, Twitter, button.
So this is a setting here that basically says, okay, so here are the apps that I want to apply this feature to. Now, you don't need to use the screen, it looks like. You can actually use the rotor to turn this setting on for individual apps. But if I go in here,
apply to head App Store, button.
So you have the App Store,
books,
all of the apps on your phone. There are also, I think this is a bug, there are some hidden apps on here that like pertain to beta. It's offered like feedback and stuff like that that aren't actually showing up on my phone. I don't know why they're here. It's probably referencing stuff that's like internally in the OS. Hopefully they'll take those out because they're not necessary here, but...
Calculator, calendar, camera, clock, compass, contacts.
So you have all the apps, and if you click on one,
selected,
it'll select
contact,
it.
Selected,
But I'm not, I don't want to select that, so I'm not going to click on it.
Screen recognition.
So there we go. This feature is useful, this apply to all apps thing, but it's also in the rotor, and you can turn it on and off there. So there you go. I'm going to get out of here now.
Using on-device intelligence.
And there's one more option.
Text recognition on. Your iPhone will speak descriptions of text found in images.
Pretty self-explanatory. If an image contains text, sometimes it will read it. Sometimes it won't, but usually it will.
Feedback style. Play sound. Button.
Okay. Play sound. Now, this is for how you want it to alert you that there is text or images. So you can have it play a noise. However, to me, it's a bit overwhelming. I tried it, and it's like, it's too much information. So what I'm actually going to do is go in here.
Speak.
And change it to speak.
Select speak. Select.
But here's something cool. You can have it play a sound and speak. If I go to the right...
Play sound. Selected. Speak.
So I have speak, and then if I go
play sound
and select that, let's see.
Speak.
Oh, never mind. Okay, you can. So usually, there are some places now in iOS where you can have it play a sound and speak certain things. We'll see that in a second, but I'm just going to have it be speaking here.
Select do nothing.
There you go. Or you can have it do nothing, in which case it will still recognize the stuff, but it won't give you as much feedback, I guess. But I'm going to just have it do speaking.
Voice.
And that's it.
VoiceOver.
Let's go out of here.
VoiceOver.
And there are a few more things.
Verbosity. Button. Punctuation. Button.
So a lot of the stuff we've had before.
Custom. Speak hints. Capital letters. Deleting text. Embedded links. Actions. Play sound. Button.
This is new. So this will alert you if an item that you're focused on has actions available. Like on the home screen where you can swipe up and down to do like edit apps, or there are other apps where in Mail, for example, if you're on a message, you can swipe up and down through the actions rotor to reply to a message or delete a message, things like that. So we can go in here and now just decide how we want VoiceOver to alert us to that.
Speak.
So if we want it to speak,
Speak.
we click that. And also,
Play sound.
then we have to play sound.
Select. Speak. Selected. Do nothing.
Or do nothing,
Do nothing.
like before. Or not before, but you can have that now. So if you don't want it to tell you that actions are available, you can just hit do nothing. I'm going to have it play a sound because I actually kind of like that sound.
Speak. Play sound. Select. Verbal.
We'll get out of here.
Verbal.
There's one more thing.
Capital. Embedded. Actions. More content. Play sound. Button.
Okay, two more things actually. So this is more content. This is specifically for images for right now, and basically this will let you know if an image has other things about it that can be described. Like for a video, for example, because it can actually describe sort of what it sees in a video. Not like audio description per se, but it will kind of give you a general idea of sort of what's going on. So, for example, it will tell you the length of the video. It can tell you whether the video is portrait or landscape, things like that. And that's in the rotor, so if you swipe up and down, you have different options. This will let you know if there's more content available. I have it set to play a noise, but actually,
Change pitch.
I'm just going to have it
Speak.
speak.
Selected. Play
Now,
sound.
okay, in this one, you can have it do multiple things. So right now, it's speaking and playing a noise. I don't want it to play a noise, so I'm going to
Play sound.
make that go away. So I'm just going to have it speak.
Change pitch.
And there we go.
Selected.
Actually, you know what?
Do not.
I'm going to have it do nothing. because it's really easy to figure out whether there's more content available. You can just swipe up and down through the rotor, so I'm going to just have it do nothing.
Speak.
And we'll get out of here. There's one more thing.
Embedded app, more container descriptions. Speak. Change pitch. Button.
So this is something called container descriptions. And what this is essentially in certain places in iOS and for certain apps, there are groups of items, okay? Kind of like on Mac where you have to interact with things. Same kind of deal here, except you don't need to interact with anything. Think of them like different sections of an app, like the bottom bar on the App Store where you have all your tabs, and then the top part where you have your account and things like that, and then the middle where you have your app suggestions. So in here you can tell it how you can tell VoiceOver how you want it to alert you to those.
Selected. Speak.
Same type of deal. You have speak, play sound,
Selected. Change pitch.
change pitch. So it will speak and it will change the pitch of the voice. So it'll speak that there's a container and it'll change the pitch. I'm actually gonna have it play a noise.
Selected.
Let's try that and see how that works. I'm gonna go out of here.
Verbal. Embedded. App. More container table output.
And there we go. That's all the new stuff in verbosity. Okay, just keep going. We have
Rotor. Speak emojis. Speaks the media determine.
all the same stuff that was in 13 before.
VoiceOver.
So there we go. We get out of there. And yeah, there are a few other things in here, but those are sort of the main VoiceOver features. And if we go to the audio, I can show you that sound I was telling you about.
Activity. Rotor. Command. Audio. Sounds and audio document.
So we'll go to sounds.
Selected. Sounds.
And we'll go down.
Navigation tab N. Edit.
Use my
Screen recognition headings.
Use my headings rotor here.
VoiceOver feedback. App feedback. Void. Screen check.
This is
Synchronize.
it.
Enter. X. Navigated inside top.
Let's see.
Preview. Path. No result. Detect. Quick notice. Sensitive content.
Oh, here we go. Now, I'm not actually sure why they let you turn this on and off in here, because you turn it on and off in the screen, or in the VoiceOver recognition thing. It seems a bit redundant, but I think this is mainly
Preview.
for if you want to hear what that sounds like. So this is what this sensitive content warning sounds like. So it sounds like that. Kind of like a little, it's like a popping noise. It's kind of interesting. So that's what it will play. So we'll get out of here, and now let's test out some of these features. I'm going to go all the way back.
Speaking rate. Adjustable. Screen time.
There we go. Now let's go to my photos, because I have a ton of photos in here that we can try.
Roslyn Dale.
So I'm going to go
Mail.
to this app library that's also a new feature,
App
and I'll find my photos app.
News. App library. Search field. App library. Info.
It's a little bit,
App library.
it's a little buggy still.
App library. Search cap.
There we go.
App. H-O-O. Phone. Cancel.
We want
Photos.
photos. Cool.
Photos. Date range. Days.
Here we go. So there's my photos. Let's just scroll through and see some photos.
Video. July 12th.
This is a video.
A person playing a piano in a room.
So there we go. It said a person playing a piano
A
in a
person
room.
playing a piano in a room.
That's going to say it over and over again. So there we go. That's what this video is, and that's correct. This was a video that I took a few months ago for one of my classes at college, where we had to play to a song, and it was literally a video of me playing piano. So it got that perfectly right. That's awesome. Let's keep going.
Video.
Let's find some photos.
Video. July 12th.
Let's see. I'll scroll a little bit.
Photo. July 9th. A person wearing sunglasses and standing in a body of water.
A person wearing sunglasses and standing in a body of water. Okay.
July 12th. More. July.
And it's important to remember that these are all being generated by AI. Like, there's no human intervention here at all.
Photo. June 15th. A smiling person wearing sunglasses and a white shirt. More. Video. April 2nd. A person playing a piano in a well-lit area.
So, well-lit area, apparently. Nice.
Video. April 2nd. A person playing a piano in a well-lit area.
So, some of these will be the same because they're very similar, just images.
Video. April 2nd. A person playing a piano in a well-lit area.
So, a lot of these are just me playing piano, I guess. If we go back a little bit,
Video. April.
let's see, I think it's stuck.
Video. March 3rd.
There we go.
Video. March 3rd.
Oh, this one
A
doesn't.
person lying on a trampoline.
Okay, so
5005.
apparently I'm lying on a trampoline. I don't know what the deal is with that, but alright.
Photo. March 3rd. A screenshot of a web page with text and an image of a bowl of seeds. Possible text. Jasmine flowers whole. Wait.
Now,
Select to wait. Add to cart.
Okay, so I think this, so it's actually reading the text of this screenshot that I think I accidentally took on my phone. I think I was looking at a website and I accidentally took a screenshot. And so it's reading the text of that, which is really interesting. And another place where this is super useful, we'll check this out now, is in the App Store. Check this out. I'm going to get out of the app library and just go back to my home screen. And I'll get into the App Store here. Here we go. So check this out. This is super cool. Let's find an app.
Apps tab. Try something new. What's new for apps in iOS 14? Great apps for Apollo for Reddit. The award-winning.
Let's try this Reddit client.
Artwork. Apollo for Reddit.
So it can actually read the screenshots and the artwork and stuff now. Let's look at this artwork and see what it is.
Artwork. Apollo for Reddit. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface.
Nice. Now, if I go to my preview where all the screenshots are, whoops.
Headings. Apollo for Reddit. What's new? Head preview.
There we go.
Heading.
Check this out.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Beautiful iOS-centric design. Feels right at home. Large or compact.
There you go.
No idea sloths could swim. This gives me hope. Some Reddits.
So it's showing you the text, and it's flawless. It's really, really, really well done.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Supercharged media viewer.
There we go.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Incredible comments view. Swipe to collapse. Inline previews. Nice.
So,
Saved. Everyone loves Sureforts apparently.
so
Reply. YouTube.com.
yeah, so it's reading part of the app screen in the screenshot. It's showing some Reddit posts.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Powerful writing editor. IOBIA.
There we go. So if we try another app, something like
Lookup. Watch
this dictionary,
artwork. Lookup. English dictionary. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface.
It
Possible
really-
text. Thing new. Charge your.
nice. So it really likes that multicolored pattern, huh? But if we go to the
Containers. Language. Headings.
headings again, we go down.
Rating. See all. What's new? Info. Seller.
Whoops.
Lookup. 5 up.
Do they not have screenshots? Let's see.
Lang. Video. Screenshot.
Oh, here we go.
Image, video. Play. Button.
So this is a video here. So if we go
Screenshot.
down.
Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Learn new words. Enhance your vocabulary with beautiful illustrations. One word a day.
There you go.
Word of the day.
So-
Discover more.
So you can actually really look at these screenshots now and get a good idea of what the app sort of looks like. This has never really been possible before. They had some features like this in previous versions of iOS, starting with like iOS 10, I believe, and iOS 11, where you were sort of able to do this, but this is like on a whole other level. This is really, really, really cool and very reliable as well. And the only reason it's saying a multicolored pattern, I have a feeling it's probably just because they don't have many varied pictures for these screenshots. On some of them, for example, if I go to Seeing AI, which funnily enough is sort of a competitor to this.
Search. Tech. Games. Apps. Stories. Search field. S. S. E. 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 I. I. N. N. G. G. A. A. I. I. Search.
And we take a look at the screenshots for these.
Artwork. Artwork. Seeing AI.
Let's see.
Artwork.
I saw this on a podcast recently, so let's see if this will work.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Documents.
So it really likes the multicolored pattern. Let me try this. Let me try turning my screen curtain off. That could have something to do with it.
Screen curtain on.
Oh, whoops, it was on actually.
Screen curtain
Or
off.
it was off already. Let's try it again.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. People. Recognize friends. Screenshot. Image. A multicolored pattern on a gray.
Yeah, so it likes the multicolored pattern. I'm not sure why that is. It could also just be that my phone is a little bit older. It's the 10R. And so on newer devices, like say the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 12, that hopefully will be coming out soon, that have more advanced neural processing, like processors, this description could actually be better. And that wouldn't surprise me at all. I was listening to a podcast earlier on this feature, and the presenter was actually looking at Seeing AI in the App Store, and for the image descriptions, it was saying, "Oh, it's like a cell phone on a wooden surface or something like that." And it could also just be the App Store layout. If I click on this image,
multicolor pattern.
to
Done. Button.
display it full screen. Let's see if we get a different description.
Screenshot. Image. A multicolor pattern on a gray surface. Possible text. Done.
No, we get the same one. But we do get the text, which is really cool.
Done.
So I'll go out of here now.
Search. Back button. Search. Cancel.
And we'll
Button.
cancel this. But this feature is really, really game-changing, especially for people who are on social media and they're using Twitter and Facebook. This really works well on Twitter, for example. You're able to look at images that people post and look at the text that's inside. It's a game changer. Now, let's see if I can demo screen recognition a little bit. Let's find an app that isn't super usable.
Search field.
Why don't we try?
Games. Apps.
Let's try something I haven't done before.
K-O-E-R.
We're gonna get an app from
G. Korg Gadget Tool.
Korg, which is a music technology company.
Read out. Advertise.
Let's see.
Artwork. KORG Gadget Tool.
Let me make sure this isn't too big.
Screen recognition headings. KO what's improved ratings and review. Size 220.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Let's download this.
KOR.
So this app is called Korg Gadget, and it's not very accessible out of the box. There seem to be a ton of like unlabeled buttons, and it's not very nice. And again, because I'm on an older device, I may not be getting the best experience, but we can give it a shot. So it's just loading right now.
Share button.
And
Download.
Yep, it's almost done.
Make
It's almost there.
downloading 37%. Make.
All right, we're getting there. So this app might be a good sort of test of how well this screen recognition can work. It's able to identify buttons. I've seen some really good results from demos that I've seen online, where it's able to make an entire an experience of an app totally accessible. It just labels everything, and then I've also seen it behave really oddly. It seems like the more complex the app is, the harder a time it has with it. So let's see if we can get any of this to work.
Open.
All right, it's done now. So let's open it up.
Open.
Hopefully it doesn't crash on iOS 14.
Alert. Gadget labeled.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Okay,
just
button.
do these notifications.
Alert. Allow.
Yep.
Button.
Okay,
Gadget lay. Header button song. Button.
beautiful. So right now we have like some sort of weirdly labeled elements. Like if we go down,
Header button radio. Header button info. Untitled. Button. Header button expand. Button.
it's not the best.
Header button settings.
We have some like weird,
Possibly. Settings.
yeah. So we have some weird sort of deal going on. Let's turn on screen recognition and see what it can do with this.
Screen contain screen recognition. Screen recognition on for gadget lay.
Okay, it's on now. So it's
Settings.
there we go. So it's scanning the app a little bit.
Containers.
And now,
Screen recognition headings.
If I touch the top, let's go back and look and see what it did.
0 at 0.
Okay,
Untitled.
that's the sort of title of the project, it seems.
Button.
That button it couldn't label.
Button. Add.
That's an add button, it seems like. There's some blank text.
Master. Limiter. Reverb. Funk.
Okay, that's sort of some effects, it seems like.
Tempo.
There's the tempo.
Tempo.
And yeah, so it's not the best.
Master. Limiter. Reverb. Funk.
But if we try,
Add.
let's say this add button.
Add.
What can we do with this? Can we click on it?
Master. Limiter.
Let's see.
Untitled. Button. 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 Scene. Button.
All right, so
Play.
there's a play button.
Master. Tempo. Tempo.
Yeah, so you can see it's not the most usable. There are some inconsistencies. If I'm going to turn it off,
Screen recognition containers.
and we can compare. So if I swipe through the screen again,
Master. Button. Limiter. Reverb. 3 hyphens. 3 hyphens. Funk.
so you see the interface looks slightly different. And it also could have something to do. We can
Home app.
experiment with this. It could have something to do with my
Airplane. Do not.
screen brightness. Let's see.
Brightness. 21%.
Oh, actually, so my brightness is sort of low.
31%.
I'm gonna turn that up.
61. 100%.
And I'm going to turn it up all the way to 100. Let's try it again and see if it can get any better.
App library.
I'm going to go to the app library,
App voice
and
memo.
we'll find,
App set. App library. Search. Set. Gadget.
here it is. Let's see if this works any better. I've turned my screen brightness up.
Language, containers, screen recognition on for get containers.
This is sort of an experiment because I haven't really done much with this yet. Let's try.
Master, limiter, read tempo.
Yeah, so we sort of got the same deal.
Screen recognition off containers.
As you can see, this is very much hit and miss right now when it comes to trying to identify things on the screen. It sort of works. It sort of doesn't. It's really trial and error. Try it with different apps, see what works, see what doesn't work, and if stuff works, great. And even if it's not perfect, it can sometimes get you out of a situation. Like, for example, if you're on Amazon or something and the shopping cart breaks and you need to add something to your cart, this could just be the thing you need to be able to at least add whatever you need to add to your cart and move on and keep going. It's not, someone said before, it's not a silver bullet. It's not something that you could just switch on and magically all of your apps are accessible. That's not how this works. This is, just another tool for, in your toolbox. And this really illustrates the importance of developers making their apps accessible, because if they don't, this is the experience you'll get. And it's not a horrible experience. You get access to some stuff, but nothing in this app anyway that makes it really usable. However, again, this is just day one. Things will improve. And again, as I say, I'm on an older device, so it's very possible, especially with the iPhone 11 and hopefully the 12 coming out soon, that things get a lot better. But still, this is huge. This is a huge step forward. The fact that it's able to describe images like this is crazy. That's just unheard of. It's incredible. So let's close out of this.
Gadget.
And there we go. I'm going to go back to my home screen. Now, here's another cool feature that I quite like that I was experimenting with, is these widgets that are on the home screen now. So I've just reorganized my home screen completely because you have this app library, and what you're able to do is you can move apps that you don't use to your app library instead of deleting them. So they're still in your phone in case you need them ever, but they're just not on your home screen anymore. So you can really clean up your home screen. So now I have a very sort of simple layout with just the stuff that I use. And I'm still going to probably modify this a little bit and work on it. But if I go to the right,
Twitter, 4 new items.
I have mail,
no,
and I have Twitter.
Twitter, 4.
And then if I keep going,
Roslindale, 61 degrees Fahrenheit, clear, high of 62 degrees Fahrenheit, low of 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's my widget. And that little tone you just heard is indicating that there are actions available. So this is my weather, and it updates in real time. So it sort of adds a bit of life, to the home screen. And these widgets can be in 3 different sizes. You have small, medium, and large. I have these small widgets for these, but I'll show you how to add one in a second. And they're really cool. I only have 2 right now, but I'm going to definitely add more in the future.
Maps.
Then you have your maps, which is just the standard Maps app.
Notes. Utilities folder. 6 apps. Books. Button.
Now, this is news. Now, actually, for some reason, I'm going to turn VoiceOver off and on again, because it's not actually telling me that I'm entering into a widget.
VoiceOver off.
Let's turn off VoiceOver and turn it on again.
VoiceOver on. Mail.
Alright, let's try that again.
Double
Now, if I go back to my weather,
Twitter. Roslindale, 61 degrees Fahrenheit, clear, high of 62 degrees Fahrenheit, low of 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
odd. So it's supposed to actually tell you, okay, you're on the weather widget now, but it's not doing that. Let me try.
App switcher. Gadget lit. App store. Active.
Going back here. Let's try this one more time.
Roslindale, 61
Odd.
degrees
So
Fahrenheit.
yeah, so it's not telling me that I'm on a widget. It could be that I turned off those container announcements. I think I turned those off. I'm not sure. So that could maybe be why. I'm not 100% sure. But it's supposed to tell you when you're on a widget so that you're not confused by what's going on. But again, this could just be a bug, and maybe a restart will help. But just know that this is my weather widget, and if I go
Maps. Notes.
to the right,
Utilities. Books. Button.
now this is an unlabeled button, but if I go to the right,
Image. CNN.
this is my news widget.
Sally drenched parts of Florida with 4 months of rain in 4 hours. Officials say.
So there you go.
App Store.
And then we have my App Store and the rest of my apps. And I only have one page. There's no other pages on here, just one page. All my apps that I need are on one page, and everything else is in the app library. So if I go now to edit.
Activate default edit mode.
There we go.
Started editing.
All right. Now let's go to the top.
Mail is an add widget button.
We have an add widget button. Check this out. So we go in
Search
here,
widgets.
and we have a ton of widgets we can choose from.
Calendar, smart stack, widget, stack, medium, suggested.
So these are suggested widgets for you to add.
Photos, for you, widget, small, suggested. TV, up next, widget, small.
But if you go past these suggestions,
Remind, and tips, screen time, battery, calendar, smart stack, button.
so this is something called a smart stack, where it will sort of add a ton of widgets and rotate them for you automatically based on the time of day, based on what you do. It's all done with AI and clever things.
Batteries, button.
And if your batteries, this is really useful if you have multiple accessories. So if I have my headphones connected and I want to check the battery level of those really quickly, I can just put this on my home screen.
Calendar, button.
Calendar, so your next appointment or anything you've scheduled, you can see right there without needing to open the calendar app.
Clock, button.
You have your clock, which is cool. So if you want to have a world clock, you can do that.
Files, button.
Files, these are open files that you've opened recently. This could be really useful if you're doing work and you need to get to files really quickly without if you don't want to open the Files app every time.
Maps, button.
Let's see what this is. Let's go in here and it'll give you a little description.
Maps, heading, close, maps. Get suggested destinations and track your ETA during navigation.
Nice. So these are sort of recommendations for where you might want to go.
Page 1 of 3, adjustable.
And I'll show you these different sizes. So
Add widget. Add widget.
this
Dismiss
doesn't have a preview, but
Double tap to dismiss.
if I go out of here and I go to another one,
Calendar, clock,
say
news, notes, photos, news.
try news. Check that.
News.
Also, it looks like you can have multiple of the same widget because these widgets are customizable. So for example, I can have top news, and then I can have another one that shows news just based on the topic I want. So like if I only want to see tech news, I can do that. Or if I only want to see like music production related news, I can do that. I can have like a music production news widget or a tech news widget, which is really cool.
Close. Topic. Get stories about a topic you're interested in.
See, it's smart enough to know, okay, you already have a top news story, we're just going to do topic.
Button. Image. Mashable.
So this is a preview of what that looks like.
Apple's September event was a flop, but here's what we liked.
So there you go.
Page 1 of 6. Adjust.
And if I go, if I do a 3-finger swipe to the left, let's try that. Does that work?
Dismiss. Button. Apple. Page 1 of 6.
No, you see, you have to scroll, you have to swipe up with one finger on this page selector.
Page 1 of 6.
It doesn't say it, but it's on page 2.
News. Heading.
Now this is the slightly bigger version.
Close. Topic. Get stories about a topic you're interested in.
Now check it out. It looks a little different.
Button. Apple. Mashable. Apple's September event was a flop, but here's what we liked.
That's what we had before, but if we keep going,
iMore. Apple Watch Series 6 makes this lazy cyclist very happy. Button.
we get another story, see?
Page 2 of 6.
And if we do it again?
Page 2 of 6. New. Close. Topic. Get stories about a topic you're interested in. Button. Apple. Button.
We have a very big size.
Mashable. Apple's iMore. CNBC. Anthem to study whether Apple Watch could help people with asthma. But pedestrian. Just gonna say it. The Apple Mouse becoming useless when charging feels like a personal insult. Button. iMore. You can't downgrade your Apple Watch, but here are our troubleshooting tips. Page 3 of 6.
So you get 5 stories, it looks like, from there, yeah. Yeah, 5 stories. That's pretty good. And then if I go to the next one here.
Page 4 of 6. Dismiss to get today's news, including top stories.
So this is what I already have on my home screen, but you could have multiple of these. So if you want one that's say on one page and then you want one that's on another page, I believe it will display different info. So it's smart enough to know, okay, you already have one on your home screen, so we'll just display another story here, which is interesting. I'm not 100% sure why you would want to do this, but I'm sure there are reasons for it.
Button. Image. CNN. Sally drenched parts of Florida.
But see, it's stuck on this hurricane story right now.
Page 4 of 6.
But again,
Page 5.
same sizes.
To get it, but top story. CNN. The Guardian. CDC director says coronavirus vaccine won't be widely available until late 2021. The Guardian. Page 5.
So there you go. That's your sort of news widget. This is really, really cool. But if I go back...
Search widgets. NBC News.
I have a third-party widget right here.
News.
Check this out.
News.
So I have my Apple News widget, but I also have a CNBC or an NBC
NBC News.
widget here. If I go in here,
NBC News.
let's see if it's the same deal.
Close button. Latest news.
Yeah.
Get the latest news.
Oh, give it a second. It's just refreshing. All right.
NBC. Close button.
Okay. Looks like it's...
NBC News. Heading.
There we go. I think we're good now.
Close. Latest news. Get the latest news from your favorite topics.
There you go. It's a very similar interface, see?
A tale of two ZIP codes. COVID-19 exposes deep disparities in U.S. schools.
There you go.
Image. NBC logo.
That's-
Stack white. Image.
That's your image. That's your NBC logo.
Possibly. Page 1 of 9. And
Now, with this, you have nine different things. So if I go up
page 1 of 9.
to the next one,
Dismiss. NBC News. Head. Closed. Latest news.
this is your latest news.
Get the latest news from your favorite topics. Top news. NBC logo stack. Coronavirus. A tale of two ZIP codes. COVID.
Same story, but if I keep going,
Page 2 of 9.
then we can do
Page 2 of
another
9.
one.
Dismiss. NBC. Closed. Latest news. Get the latest news from your top news. Coronavirus. A tale of two ZIP codes. COVID. Health news. Mild high.
There you
What
go.
you should know before you eat airplane food. But page 3 of 9.
So you can sort of tell this isn't as accessible as the Apple widgets. They don't tell you what size they are. So for example, if I go back to my
NBC News. Music. News.
news widget and I do that again, look, check this out.
Close. Topic. Get started. Button. Image.
So it should,
Description available.
let's see.
Matchable. Apple's.
Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, so this also actually doesn't tell you what size the widget is. I think some of this is just due to some VoiceOver accessibility problems. But let's just throw that aside for a second. Let's say I want to add
News.
this
Button.
NBC widget. Okay, so let's say I want
NBC. Latest news. Get the latest
this latest news one,
image. NBC logo.
Right.
A tale of two. Page. Add widget.
just this first one. I'm gonna just click add widget,
Add widget. Button.
and it's on the home screen now. Easy as that.
Add widget.
So if I go to the home screen,
Finished editing.
check it out.
NBC News. Image.
It's at the top.
Image. NBC logo stack white. Image. A photo. Trump contradicts CDC director on COVID-19 vaccines after Biden slams president's promises.
There you go.
Mail. No unread emails.
And then you've got your mail. So let's say I want to read this story.
Trump.
And the NBC app is sort of accessible. It's another demo of sort of screen recognition because you're able to sort of read some of the stuff, and then in screen recognition it tries very hard to make it work, but it doesn't work super well. But if I just double tap on this,
Trump contradict. NBC News. Back button.
yep, and I go to the right.
Share. But coronavirus. Link. Trump contradicts CDC.
So it opens the story right up. I don't need to go into the NBC app. I don't need to try and find the story. It's just right there.
Trump has repeatedly pledged to produce a vaccine in record time, but his rosy timetable runs counter to what many health experts say is realistic. Image. U.S. politics Trump briefing. Image. A person in a suit speaking at a podium.
So that's probably Trump speaking at a podium, and he's in a suit, I guess.
President Donald Trump speaks in the Brady briefing room of the White House on September 16, 2020. Mandelman/AFP. Getty Images.
And there you go.
September 6 / updated. September.
So you can see, I'm going
Coronavirus.
to go out of here,
1.
and I'm going to return to my home screen.
Home. 1. Image.
There you go. So there you go. Now, let's say I want to
Poster
get...
with an image
Yeah, so
and text on it.
yeah, so
Possible.
it's a poster. Let's say I want to get rid of this NBC widget. Let's say I don't like it. I'm going to triple tap on it. Or not.
NBC
Let's
image.
try that again.
A poster with an image.
Come on.
And Trump contradicts.
All right, that doesn't work. Want to work. Let's see.
Weather. Widget. Image. A poster with an image and text on it.
Come on.
Well, Roslindale.
Again,
Maps.
this is still
Trump
the
contradicts.
first version, so thereabouts. There we go. So you can edit the widget here. So if you want to change something about it,
Edit homes. Edit.
let's see if there are any options in here that I can change.
Image. NBC News. Get the latest topic. Choose. Button.
So you can choose the topic you want. That's
Choose.
cool. So let's go
Button.
in here.
Choose. Topic. Search. Dictate.
You can
Button.
search.
Cancel. Top stories. Latest news. COVID-19.
So check it out.
Decision 2020.
If I just wanted COVID news, I could do that. Or you can search
World news.
if I wanted just world news
Politics.
or
Tech and media.
tech and media. Let's do that.
Latest news.
There we go. So I'm getting the latest news about tech and media now.
Get the latest topic. Tech and media.
So if I get out of here,
Mail.
check it out. Now the stories should change. Let's look.
NBC logo stack. Facebook teaming up with Ray-Ban Maker for first smart glasses in 2021.
There you go, see? So they've changed, and now it's showing me all of the tech and media news. And Apple News has a very similar thing as well. So you have your pick. This is just one app. There are many others, I'm sure, and there probably will be many, many more coming very soon. This release has sort of been rushed. I don't know why. They didn't really release a Gold Master. They did for like a day, but developers didn't have a ton of time to get their apps ready, so it's still sort of a mad rush to get all this stuff out. But this is a really good preview of what's to come, and these widgets are probably some of my favorite features in iOS 14 by far, in addition to this whole voiceover recognition, which you just saw a second ago, really useful on the web because a lot of images on the web don't have proper descriptions. So this is a really good way to get descriptions for images where they weren't labeled before. On Twitter as well, and Reddit especially is very useful because a lot of people will post images of funny memes and jokes or just random weird stuff that they find, and you can now sort of understand what that is. As far as I know as well, this image description tech gets better as time goes on. So as you use it more, I think it learns from the images that you look at the most, and it will sort of try and feed that in so that it can give you more detailed descriptions. So again, I just updated. I'll keep testing this and see if it gets better over time, and if it does, I can report back. But that's what I've been hearing, that it does get better over time. And again, there's a number of factors here, because I'm on a slightly older device. This phone is getting on 2 years old. I don't know about the processing power in here. I don't know if the newer phones are more powerful and able to handle this and give even more detailed descriptions. But for someone like me who's just starting out with this and who's just trying this out for the first time, this is huge. This feature alone is really, really incredible. So yeah, there you go. There's the widgets and the image descriptions and the voiceover recognition and a little bit of the screen recognition stuff that didn't work out so well. But I'll keep experimenting and report back if I find anything useful. So there you go. Those are just some of the features in iOS 14. There are some more, a lot more. There's like a translate app now, so you can translate if you need to have a conversation with someone who speaks a different language. You can do that, which is really cool. You have some stuff in Safari with privacy, some really cool stuff with automating shortcuts in the Shortcuts app. You can do some really interesting things with that. And just a ton more. And again, this is just the beginning, I think iOS 14 is kind of like it's a good update, I would say overall it's a very good update. It gives you a lot of cool features. The widgets are huge, but I think that there's just a lot more to come. I think this is really just the beginning, and due to this whole pandemic situation, I have a feeling there may have been some features that they had to hold back because there was just too much else going on. So considering the circumstances that they were under, this is a remarkable update. And the fact that there aren't many bugs in this update, it seems. There aren't many serious bugs at all, really. And it's very stable so far. VoiceOver hasn't really crashed on me or anything. I've seen a few things here and there, a few little hiccups, but nothing too crazy. Nothing show-stopping at all, by any means. So, yeah, this is iOS 14, and I will report back in a few days once I've had some time to play with this. I'll have a lot of time to sort of look at this tomorrow and Friday, and I'll do a video probably Friday demoing even more. And let me know in the comments if you upgraded to iOS 14, if you want to wait a little bit. What do you think? Do you like these features? Do you think they're not useful at all? What do you think? Let me know. I haven't even demoed BackTap, which is a really interesting... You know what, actually, let's demo that real quick, because it's very cool.
Settings.
So I'll go into Settings.
Settings.
And
Cellular.
let's go into my...
Controls at display and home screen.
My accessibility.
Accessibility.
This is the first time I'm trying this too, so this will be fun.
VoiceOver.
So I'm going to go to
VoiceOver.
Commands, which is the feature we've had in 13 as well.
Activities. Rotor. Commands.
Yep.
All commands. Touch
I'm going to go to
gestures.
Touch Gestures,
Tab.
and all the way at the bottom,
Blank words. Character. Headings. Tap, 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 double tap, back tap. Heading not found.
We have back tap. You can tap the back of your phone like this, right on the back, to do various things.
Double tap the back of your iPhone.
You can double tap or
Triple tap the back of your iPhone.
triple tap. Let's do one for double tap.
Back, double tap the back of your iPhone.
We click on it,
Cancel.
and we have a ton of voiceover commands that we can assign.
Perform long press. Secondary activate.
So,
Basic navigation.
what do we want to do?
Move to
Let's say
move to linked item. Move to next item.
I want to do this
Move to previous.
to go home,
Contain headings.
to the home screen.
Text navigation.
So I'm going to just move by heading,
Scrolling. Speech and audio output.
go down
Heading. System. Other.
to
System.
system.
Accessibility short. Activate speak screen. App switcher. Control center. Home. No. Home.
Ah, here we go. All right,
Commands. Back button.
there we go. So now it's set up. Now I'm going to get out of here.
Speech. Button.
Now, here comes the moment of truth. I'm going to double tap the back of my phone and let's see if it goes home. Ready? Of course, it does not work the first time.
Braille.
Let's
Button.
try it again.
Setting.
There we go. It went
Image.
home. So this is a great
Person
alternative.
standing in.
Oh, it's trying to describe stuff. This is a great alternative for if you don't want your phone to, if you don't want to use that gesture that's on the newer phones, you can just do a double tap on the back of your phone and go home. And you can use this to run Siri shortcuts as well. So you can do all sorts of things, like you can have it tell you the weather or activate, say, Google Assistant if you like that better than Siri. A ton of stuff. There's really a lot here. So that's back tap, and I'm surprised that worked as well as it did. Really cool stuff. If we actually lock the phone, and I'm gonna hit the screen to wake it up. Let's see if we can unlock it using that back tap.
2 a.m.
Yep,
Image.
nice.
News.
So that's a really reliable way to go home. And then of course you could probably do the triple tap to go to the app switcher. So if we
TV.
go back and
Settings.
I can do that real quick. We can go
Set. Rotor action. Activity. Commands. Button. All
Here.
command. Touch gestures.
Go back.
Select.
and we
Tab.
go
3.
to the bottom
Double tap the. Triple tap the back of your eye.
and we go down.
Move to a vertical. Toggle text selection. Switch to previous. Reachability. Power button. Accessibility. Activate speech. System.
Let's see.
App switcher.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
Commands.
So now we
Commands.
have
Back. Command.
triple tap to go home and
VoiceOver.
or
Back. VoiceOver.
a double tap to go home and triple tap to do the app switcher. So let's try the double tap. Whoops, you have to do it a bit slower. There we go.
Settings.
Let's try the triple tap.
Image. A person standing.
Yeah, come on.
App switcher.
There we go.
Settings.
So it's a little hit and miss, but it works. You have to kind of be in the center, it looks like. So
Setting.
if we try it again. Come on. It might also be the case I have. There we go. So it might also be the case I have. I have a pretty thick case on my phone. It's an OtterBox case, so I bet if I were to take it out of its case and try that, it would probably work better, but I don't want to do that right now. But it does work. Really cool. So I'll leave that on because I like it. I think it's really neat.
TV.
So there you go. There are some of the features in iOS 14. There's a lot more. Safari has some really cool stuff. If you're on a web page that has a foreign language and you want to translate it into another language, you can totally do that. You have the Translate app, as I've said before, some privacy stuff, trying to limit what apps can get, from your data, which is always a good thing. And yeah, just tons more. There's a lot here. A lot of stuff in messages. You can pin conversations now. So if you have conversations that you want to keep at the top of your list, you can do that so that you can get back to them really easily. You have a ton of stuff with shortcuts. You can have your phone do things for you without your intervention. So for example, if your battery gets to a certain percentage, you can have it turn on low power mode and airplane mode and all this stuff to try and save your battery. You can have it make a noise when your battery is at a certain level. All sorts of stuff. So there's just so much to get into, and I haven't even scratched the surface. I've just been playing with it for maybe 4 hours. I think when I sleep on it a little bit and come back tomorrow, I'll have a ton more ideas. So I'll keep playing with it. If you have updated and you have experiences, you let me know in the comments below. Check out AppleViz as well. I'm gonna make sure to put a link to that in this video and that other video that I did on Logic earlier in the week. I'm gonna make sure to put a link to AppleViz in that. I just have to go and update the descriptions for those. But AppleViz, again, is a really good resource for all this kind of info, especially relating to iOS 14. They have a lot of write-ups and podcasts about the different features, and people are on there talking about it. So check that out, definitely. And stay tuned because there's a lot more coming. macOS 11 isn't even out yet, and when that comes out and when I get my hands on it, I'll do a similar video to this showing some of the new features in macOS 11 for you guys. And yeah, there you go. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a good day. Enjoy iOS 14, and I'll see you guys again very soon.